Good morning. It is Thursday, February 2nd. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute. I'm Sade Campbell, Enrollment Communications and Social Media Manager here at Houston Community College. And I would like to say happy Black History Month. We have an awesome lineup celebrating history, highlighting history, both at the institution and across some states. I'm joined this morning by my co-host, Parrish Murphy, who's going to tell everyone how to find us on social media.
Absolutely. Welcome, 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 as they say in church. We're live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page, and we're also on YouTube. We're on Twitter. We're on LinkedIn, Instagram, and we're on HCCTV at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Thanks so much for that, Parrish. Well, we are excited. I'm speaking for you too.
I feel like I should have worn my dashiki. I don't know.
I didn't send you the memo.
Is that like a cultural Black thing where we just don't feel Black enough during Black History Month?
Oh my goodness. It is. I was like, well, I'm gonna shake it up a little bit. And so I said I wanted to get some more attire. So this is one of a few.
Okay. All right.
We're excited certainly to launch Black History Month with two special guests today, including the advisor of one of HCC's Black Life Studies clubs, Michael Ayres, who is the campus advisor of HCC Southwest Black Life Studies Club. Welcome to the show, Michael.
How you doing?
So happy to have you. You and Parrish are going to have an awesome conversation. I already know it in just a second. But first, we're talking to Ford's Theater, made famous by President Abraham Lincoln's assassination. From Ford Theater, we have Tricia Patrick. She's the Director of Education and Interpretation for Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C., and our virtual Family Fun Day guest. Welcome to the show, Tricia.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks so much for welcoming Ford's Theater back again.
Yes, happy to have you. And, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. So he is certainly an important part of Black History Month discussion. And here in Texas, there's an even deeper connection because we think through the Emancipation Proclamation being issued in 1863, but it's taken 2 more years to actually free the slaves, which here in Texas, which is why Galveston, Texas is the home of the first Juneteenth celebration 2 years later when the slaves were actually free. So we definitely an important part specifically of American descendants of slavery's history. And the Ford Theater, which is who you work for, was made famous for this, I shared earlier, as the site of Abraham Lincoln's assassination. So let's kick things off by sharing a little bit about the theater.
Yeah, Ford's Theater is a national historical site. As you said, we are made famous by being the site of this assassination. And, President Lincoln is somebody who enjoyed going to the theater, enjoyed in this time of Civil War, having a place where he can go and get a bit of a respite and a break from all of the trials that were going on at that time, of course. And as such, was in a vulnerable state when Booth came and, of course, assassinated him there, or at least shot him, and then he died the next morning at the Peterson House. The Peterson House is also part of our Ford's Theater campus. We have the museum. We have the theater that is currently also a functioning theater. We have the Peterson House across the street. And then we also have our Center for Education and Leadership. Our mission is to explore Abraham Lincoln's legacy and the American experience through theater and education. And we are so fortunate just to welcome visitors from all over the country, if not from various places all over the world. And I'm happy to share some of those programs with you here today.
Awesome. And, we're out here in Texas, so I think it is worth noting how everyone can engage virtually with the theater.
We're so fortunate. We've been providing digital learning opportunities even before the pandemic. And of course, as a result of the pandemic, how we offer those opportunities and the breadth and width of programming expanded. So one of the things that we still continue to offer are our virtual field trips. They are created with some middle school and high schoolers in mind, but they are enjoyable for every single age group, for adult learners, for lifelong learners, if you will. This season, we offer a scheduled monthly virtual field trip, and our next one takes place on February 9th. And the title of that one is Ford's Theater and the Lincoln Assassination. They happen at 1 p.m. every single month. But for our teachers out there, we love and respect our teachers, and we're so happy to appear in your classrooms. If you wanted a special scheduled session in your classroom that fits with your classroom time, do not hesitate to reach out and contact us. Our team is dynamic and flexible, and we'll do our best to accommodate any special wishes that you may have. The other program that I think is just so wonderful, and when I was in my journey to Ford's Theater, I've been there for about 7 months, I came across the Cabinet Conversations. And the Cabinet Conversations can be found on our Ford's Theater YouTube page, but there's such a rich library of discussions that have taken place. The most recent of which was an episode on Emmett Till that was in collaboration with Mosaic Theater when they were producing their Till trilogy. There are other topics such as the crossroads of history, storytelling and healing, Black women leading the change, Lincoln's words, inaugural addresses, and many, many more. Like I said, they're all there on our YouTube page. Please check them out. Really, really rich conversations. And then coming up, again, online, we have our Lincoln Online Oratory program. This is a program where teachers can connect with us. A teaching artist virtually appears in their classroom for several sessions and works with students to help them prepare their own recital of a speech. They work together and they receive either a speech from Lincoln or another, famous oratory such as Martin Luther King or Frederick Douglass and many others. And then we host an online viewing of the videos that they submit, and that's also taking place in a couple of months. So many different ways to engage with us virtually.
Yeah, and I mean, such a rich repository of things that adult learners of all ages can access. And part of me is thinking just how much the role of museums in the arts is elevated in what we are facing right now, and the limitations in the educational system in being able to access the simple history of our country, the role of African Americans and the impact of the country's decisions on African Americans. So I'm excited to hear that you all are such a resource that expands beyond Lincoln's legacy and really looks at the part of his legacy of the Civil War and telling the truth about it. So, I mean, if I could give an endorsement today without having seen the resources, I definitely will be checking out the YouTube channel. I think it's a great referral source, and I'm happy to hear that you all are being able to connect with so many educators who can use it as a resource.
You're absolutely correct. This is a moment where, I feel so privileged to be able to be in service of teachers and the teachers who are advocating for teaching a history that is robust and that acknowledges the contributions of African Americans, the contributions of people of all different walks of life, and the fact that there is no monolith, right? There are great contributions that are really large and wide, and there are those incremental changes that Black Americans have made along the way. And we're so happy to be able to celebrate all of those stories and bring all of those stories to the next generation. One of the ways in which we support teachers, is through our professional development program, where we talk about teaching history, where we give the teachers the tools. We have one that is called our Civil War Washington program, as well as our Set in Stone program. These are free teacher PDs where we welcome teachers from all over the country to be with us in the summer for a week and talk about some of those challenges, as you said, in bringing history to the classroom.
Phenomenal. And, all of this is what you all are doing. It sounds like a lot virtual, some opportunities for those local educators to engage with the theater. What are some in-person productions? Getting back to the fact that you all are a theater, right?
That's right. We are brick and mortar. We are here in the nation's capital. One of the programs that we're really excited about, which is also tied to one of our teacher professional development programs, is our National Oratory Fellows. But we also have a local oratory program here as well. So we are so excited to bring students back to the stage actually next week, and have them take the stage and share these powerful words with our audience. But even more immediate, tonight launches our Ford's Legacy Commissions. We have 3 days of stage readings taking place on our stage that really are centering these undertold stories. Our Ford's Legacy Commissions serves as an artist incubator in stories of social justice, stories of racial history, and explore the experiences of underrepresented characters and historical figures in American life. We are so excited. We've commissioned 5 artists, and this weekend we are featuring 3 of those artists. Including and the plays. Please let me tell you about these plays, because these plays are incredible.
Okay, let's wrap out on that note for us.
Okay, great. So the first of which is Something Moving, a meditation on Maynard by Pearl Cleage. Pearl Cleage is a giant in the theater world and really explores the election of Maynard Jackson, Atlanta's first Black mayor. The next up we have is Black Box by Rickaby Hines, and explores the remarkable life of abolitionist Henry Box Brown, who was a magician and illusionist, but also in 1849, he arranged to have himself mailed in a wooden cart from Virginia to his abolitionist contacts in Philadelphia. So really great to bring that story to life. And then our third is Young and Just by Dominic Taylor. And this work explores the life of African-American pioneer biologist, Dr. Ernest Everett Young, as well as the collaboration he had with Dr. Arlena Young, who was the first African-American woman, the first Black woman to earn a PhD in zoology. So really excited to bring those stories to our stages, and tonight kicks them off. So I'm really, really excited to share those with you here today.
Well, thank you so much, Tricia. If you are just joining in, we just had an amazing conversation, overview of all the rich resources available at the Forest Theater in Washington, D.C. Tricia Patrick serves as the Director of Education and Interpretation at the theater, and we will have information posted after the show for you to learn more about the theater. Thank you so much for joining us, Tricia.
Thank you so much for having me. And if you're in town in March, join us for Shout, Sister Shout, the story of Sister Rosetta Tharpe, who was a gospel singer and an amazing contribution to our artistic life as well. So thank you so much for having me here today, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Tricia.
Hey, Tricia, can I ask really, really quick? So when Lincoln was shot, what play were they watching?
They were what? Oh, good. Oh my gosh, you got me on a good. It is, hold on 1 second. Let me that is, of course, you caught me on the information that just went out of my brain.
I'm sorry.
That's totally fine. This is good.
I was just curious because, I mean, we know about his assassination, but I was just always curious about what play were they watching, so.
He was watching An American Cousin. Yes. Okay. An American Cousin.
All right. Well, thank you. I just wanted to know. I was just kind of curious. Thank you, Tricia.
I could not leave here without getting you that answer. So
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tricia. I have the pleasure of speaking with Michael Ayres. He's campus advisor of HCC's Southwest Black Life Studies Club in Stafford. How you doing?
good. How y'all doing today?
Doing good. We woke up this morning. It's a good start to the morning.
All right.
Welcome to the show, Mike. Now, we've already been announcing some Black History. We've been announcing during Black History Month some of the events that you guys are doing out there in Stafford. But I wanted you to give me a little insight on the Black Life Studies Club.
Okay. Several years ago, when I was hired at HCC, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, I noticed there were a lot of cultural programs going on, but I didn't see on for, people look like me. So I decided to start this student club called Black Life Studies. At the same time, there was another young lady there that she came to me. I don't know how she picked me out. She wanted me to be the advisor for their African Studies Club or African Student Union. So we kind of talked and merged. And out of that, we came up with the club to where students of every background, every race could come, safe space, talk about issues that were important to them, learn some Black history, African, American history blended together. And then I also was like, I need somewhere to promote the sociology department. Because in the sociology department, we study group behavior. So,
okay, now what is this? I was about to ask you, when you said sociology, now what does this club have to do with sociology?
Well, when we're asking, or when we, for instance, one of the questions came up, why are Black people so angry? Why are we quick to protest? I was like, oh, that's a wonderful question. And it has a
40 acres and a mule.
Yeah. So I'm like, there's cause and effect. So I said, the question to ask, you've asked the best question, why? Okay. Now let's search for the cause. We see the effect, but we never see the cause. Now, in my sociology classes, I utilize history to spy and to show forth and to prove recurring patterns of behavior. So this is how this ties in. Why are Black people angry? Let's look at the instances where they were angry or their anger has been shown. Now let's look at Blacks through history. Oh, that's why. These people were marginalized and have never been given a equal or equitable fair shot. And then when these same causes keep popping up throughout history, people get tired of being picked on and they find ways to express their discontent.
Okay. That's good. It's wonderful that, you guys have a platform where people can actually ask questions, because you know what? Sometimes if you're Black, you don't know, and I've been that guy on the job where people would ask, would ask me questions, and I think they were comfortable because we were coworkers and, and all of those things. I think they were just comfortable. And I think, if you're going to have change, there has to be a platform for discussion where people can talk openly and freely and just kind of go from there. It looks like we might have lost Michael. Did we lose Michael?
I'm still here.
Michael momentarily. Here we go, Mike, you're back.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. I'm glad. Okay, I was about to say, man, we got this good discussion going, man. I was just basically saying that I'm glad that there's a platform for people of other races to ask questions to Black people about Black people, because I think if you want to know something about somebody, you should go to that particular person. That's a wonderful thing. Now, you have some events coming up. What events do you have planned, Mike?
Okay, y'all missed the kickoff event, which was yesterday. It was called, and we have a title or a theme for the month. Lift Every Voice. This is our story. So what we did yesterday is we had the New Deliverance Choir come out as about 5 women, young women, and they came and they sung some Negro spirituals. And then afterwards, I and another student, we looked in the Bible to start our journey through history. So we looked at, and our little section was called Discovering Black History in the Bible. So that's something that I try to teach, and I've been doing that for close to 30 years, maybe.
Oh, wow.
So finding Blacks in the Bible. So we did that yesterday. To what's today, Thursday? So today is movie night. And it's not night, it's between 2 and 6 p.m. We're going to watch Red Tails over at W102 on Stafford campus.
I saw that. Mm-hmm.
We have Blacks in Science coming up. Blacks in Literature. Blacks in Literature is going to be done on WebEx. So if you want to chime in for that, you have to be a student or staff faculty member, and you got to join the Black Life Studies Club to get the WebEx notification. Okay. We also will be doing Tables of the Divine Nine. This is where the Black Greek organizations, Kappa Alpha Psi, Phi Beta Sigma, AKA, et cetera, decorate their tables with the history that they've made. Now, all but one of the Divine Nine is over 100 years old. So you think about all the members that have come through these organizations and all of the history and achievements that have been made. So it should be pretty nice. And it also gives students that are looking to transition to the four-year college campuses time to ask questions about these organizations, because quite frankly, there's a lot of misinformation.
And you don't know
we'll have
research it.
Thank you. Yeah. The big event, the next big event will be the Diaspora Fest. It's where we invite groups to come out, decorate tables from any of the countries that the people of West Africa were scattered to during the Atlantic slave trade. And we're going to have music, we're going to have food, we're going to have beads and necklaces that are handmade. We're going to have maybe a raffle or two, and we've done this before and it's kind of big. So anybody in HCC that wants to get down with us, give me a email, michael.ayres@hccs.edu, and just say, hey, we want to participate in Diaspora Fest, and I'll send you the information.
Sounds good. Let us know. I'd love us to get a camera out there and just put together a package on some of the stuff that you guys do. Okay. Quickly, before we get out of here, how can a student join?
Okay, all they have to do is send me their name, michael.ayres at hccs.edu. Tell me that they want to join. I'll send them the link to our Canvas page, and then all they have to do is push accept, and they're in the Canvas page. Now, once they get in, they're not full members. There's about 7 small, short essays that they need to read, and then they need to show some leadership. They need to get other students involved in the discussion about those. Right. So you can stay in it if you don't want to read, and you just want to be a peripheral member, that's fine. But want to be a full member, get a T-shirt, maybe get a little money in your pocket, for some gas or lunch somewhere. Do the whole, go through the progression.
That sounds good. We will definitely.
Right now, I've got about 3 students they're on their way to the progression of being full members, because we're just getting started. We're coming back from the pandemic. I got about a good 3 or 4 strong members right now.
Good. Well, listen, we appreciate you so much, Mike. We got to get out of here. Listen, save me some beads. Save me some. I do the wrist beads. I do these. Save me some. All right. And please keep in contact with us, because it sounds interesting. A lot of stuff. I know we didn't have a lot of time to get into it at length, but what we're going to do is we're going to have a link in our post after the show, and they can get into contact with you and find out what you guys do. His name is Michael Ayres. He is campus advisor of HCC's Southwest Black Life Studies Club in Stafford. We'll have more information, as I said, in our post after the show. You can join the club if you're any nationality. We won't tie you down and make you watch New Jack City. How about that? on the 5 heartbeats, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much.
Learn how to get you dance on.
Oh, Miss Campbell, how you doing?
I was all right till your last little spiel.
You know what? I could have fun at a funeral. You know, I just could. You know, that's just my personality.
Oh my goodness!
Let's jump into some announcements.
We have certain classics in our culture.
Well, hey, you know, hey, man, you know, what can I say? You know.
Well, I think just in the interest of time, we could just follow each other's leads and kind of move about these announcements in a way that we capture those that are coming up the quickest. Okay. We're going to kick things off with we have a university campus visit at HCC Northline. HCC Northline's campus is hosting several universities this month to visit with students about transfer opportunities. Coming up today, UT Tyler will be at Northline campus from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And on Monday, February 6th, there'll be a transfer fair at Northline campus from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. More will be held later this month, and check out the post after the show for more details.
Mental Health 101, it's offered by the National Alliance on Mental Illness and HCC. This provides a basic understanding of the most common mental health challenges and symptoms. It will also discuss statistics related to identification, treatment, and recovery. This happens noon to 1:15 p.m. Wednesday, February the 8th, and it's going to be held virtually. This session is open to all HCC students, faculty, staff, as well as their circles of support. Check our post to register after the show.
All right. Well, that leads us to how we always end the show, which is a reminder about registration. For those of you who all know, we're actively in our spring registration, but there are still opportunities to enroll, join the Eagle family. Our next session begins this month. It's called our Second Start. That is a 12-week session, and it'll offer online anytime, online on a schedule, hybrid and in-person classes. There's still an opportunity to join, still an opportunity to learn about options to fund your education. To learn more about HCC's programs, start dates, and options to cover costs, please visit hccs.edu/apply. Well, looking ahead to tomorrow, we have a treat in store when retired judge and HCC electrical technology student Bill Littlejohn returns to talk about his work to create a solar training program in Liberia. And it will also be Film Friday, followed by Mental Health Monday, and all our other kind of themes, special programming. But we thank you for joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute, and we'll see you next time.